Okay. So today and last night I worked on getting this all working. Got a contactor, got a drive, got a motor with an encoder. Got a L83 CPU, Ethernet IP, of course. And I took the program we sent you, Steve sent you, and found a few little glitches in it, and then I've made some changes. So what I've added is MMS reference. So now I got a separate ramp just for the papermaking reference. And then I have a drive sequencing reference for slow and jog. That's the second reference, and that has the draw reference in it because the draw is specific for each section of the paper machine. The MMS is universal, goes across the whole machine. So we've got the two references. I put in a draw calculator block or logic. And I've been working on a compensations add-on instruction. And then I also, these references came from a Rockwell program on plagiarizing that I found years ago. And I've been doctoring up a little bit. So just to show you. And it has all the stuff, but they use jerk rate. And I did a little studying on jerk rate, so now I see how that works. And we've got the 5 seconds of rounding. And I did 10-second paper making ramp, so instead of 1 foot per minute per second, I'm using 10 for my test. And that's that. And I think I have 100 feet per minute per second for the jog and the slow, which is probably a little fast for real life, but it's good for testing. So, knowing that, I've got the hardware, I got the drive composer, I've got the PLC. So we go to control. And this is the same, pretty much the same, although I'm doing the reference moves based on what mode we're in. I had to do a stop mode to zero the reference. So if we don't have any selected modes, we just make sure it's a 0 for reference, press speed reference. Slack take up I got. For some reason the drive's 0 speed, it goes to 0 and then it turns back on again. I'm not sure if it's just I don't remember that problem on previous jobs, but so I made a 0 speed. The timer is still in there for the 5 seconds before it opens the contactor and removes the run command too. So the drive basically stays, we used to call that preconditioned in the old days. So if you're doing a jog, it'll let you jog like on and off. That's why we have that timer. So you can do that, and then you can release it, and then you can do that, and that. And it won't sit there and bang the contactor. So the timer starts timing right there. Clunks. There's the contactor knot. And the press doesn't go reverse, but this is a reversing drive. So I put in the reverse logic just to make sure it works. And all that is a negative reference on jog. It's really not a big deal. Let's just send a negative reference out. So that's that. And that all goes to the ramp block. This third press reference ramp block. Everything's third press because that's what we're working with here for my example. I've got a trend. This shows those jogs, playing around with the jogs. And then I think I put the speed I wanted better resolution on the speed. So we don't really see the drive speed because of my setup on the scaling, I don't remember. All right, so let's go to a run command. So this is the stop command, it's off. That's the run command, so we just got to toggle it. Toggle that on. We've latched in the run mode. We're doing run request. We have 1200 as our reference. And if we go to our trend, so it's starting to come up here. This is the compensation mask. So this green one, or no, the turquoise one. I don't remember what the green one. Oh, the green one is the same. Turquoise is the commanded value going to the drive, and green is what's the math is working on. It's a super small amount right now. And then this blue one is from the Allen Bradley math, but I don't know what this little twiddle is here. Anyway, so red is reference, white is speed feedback. That was a normal start and that uses the third press reference only because the master machine speed has been at 1200 the whole time. See that line up here? That's the master machine speed. So we can't use that ramp to start the drive. All right, we come over here. If I can find the mouse. Go to MMS Logic. So we've got draw. So I got 1.024 draw. I got my master machine speed reference. There's my speed feedback, 1200. And then we are sending 1229.29 to the drive for our withdraw. So that's master machine speed times the draw equals 1229. And then if we change this, make that like 1300. This is in feet per minute. So now we've got 1300 feet per minute. We're accelerating. We've got torque reference counts as 1%. So 1.0, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6, 0.2. So go to our trend, and again, we're following that's a paper making ramp change. So that looks fine. Let's go back to control here. Now we'll give it a stop. So here's the stop. Now it's going to go off of the paper making ramp, and it's going to stop on so now it's stopping on that other ramp. So that's quite a bit faster. So that was a run on a normal, using our 2 ramps, and it takes a while to stop. Zero speed's a little rough. Should stop pretty quick. There. Okay. So it stops, or it was stopped. It's just drive's still energized, so it sounds like it's running. Go back to control. Of course, we can give it a slow. This is just a fixed amount of feet per minute, 150. So it'll just come up to 150 feet per minute. So that's, and it still has the draw. Nobody cares about slow as long as it's somewhere around 150. So we just multiply draw into everything. So if we go to, oops, wrong ramp. All right. And now you can go, oops, I gotta turn can't leave these bits on. These are supposed to be push buttons. And go to run request. And now we have a 1300 feet per minute reference going to it. The drive's doing its thing over here, so it's following the reference. Torque goes up. This blue one is its internal feet per minute per second. Oops, did I do that? Don't touch your touch screen. Pretty dumb. I don't know what I did. I touched my screen and screwed it all up. That's really weird. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So that's that. Showed you that. Stop request, stop push button, T. So now we got zeros in our reference. And you can just jump into slow if you so desire. That puts 150 feet in the reference. Go back to the DVD-T so you can see it's doing its thing. All right. Oh, I was going to show draw. So draw. I had to think about this for a little while, and me and ChatGPT figured this out. So love me some AI sometimes. It's actually, I think 60 seconds for just a 10% draw chain, or a 10% of 1. So 1.1 in 60 seconds feels about the right rate. And then I put in the draw ink command up here. Press draw is what we want to do. And if it's in progressive, we'll send the next section draw. So we can do a draw ink, Control T. And that's going to change the draw rate. And if it was in progressive, it would be sending it to the next section. So that's what I'm doing there. And then of course you got draw deck, which makes it go down because it's using this instruction, negative. I just negated one of the signals, so it goes down. Should be able to see that on the trend. Oh, not it's slow. Can't see stuff in slow. Anyway, you get the idea. Draw works. I left a sticky button. So that's the project I'm going to send you guys tonight. And that's the setup. So yeah. Go back to control. And I didn't leave the stop button. See, the stop button's on right now, so it's not gonna latch in. But these are gonna be momentary buttons. We should put that on the text, momentary buttons. And like I said, I had to put this goofy comparator in for 0 speed, so it'll get down, and I think it's at 6 or 7 feet per minute. So yeah, it's starting to come in now. It's real unstable at 0 speed, the drive does, but it's counting now. Yep. Come on, baby. So that is the code working. And I also cleaned up the, I noticed the feedbacks had different signal names. And I got rid of the run reverse and slow reverse. We're never gonna go slow reverse. We got operate, we got run forward, we got jog forward, and I added stopping mode. Because that's another valid. So when it's stopping, I like to flash the red stop button that they're stopping out on the bench board. So it's not in any mode, but it's not at 0 speed yet because the running bit's still on. So it flashes stopping. No big deal. But other than that, it seems to work pretty good. That's my presentation. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.